Okay, let's move on to chapter 8. So remember that angular velocity right? The book calls it rotational velocity. I like to call it angular velocity, is equal to this symbol. So it's equal to your angle over time. This is just like the velocity that we're all used to, which is distance over time, right? If you're going miles per hour or meters per second, this is very similar to that, except that here it's how much distance you did in a circle, and we use either revolutions or that other parameter we talked about called radians, which we don't put a unit for. And you can do a circle in degrees, but we don't use degrees typically in physics. The math just doesn't work out. But you can see how it's very similar to linear velocity. Velocity would be miles per hour. So here it will be revolutions per unit time, so revolutions per second, or RPM, which would be revolutions per minute. We all heard of RPM. Or radians. Radians per unit time. Okay, and then angular acceleration. Acceleration is going to equal this symbol, and then that's equal to your angular velocity divided by time. Well, and that's very similar to the acceleration we're used to, right? Linear acceleration is simply the change in velocity, right? So if you're going 30 miles an hour and then you start accelerating up to 40 miles per hour, well, that's a change in velocity over time. Here, this is just a change in your angular velocity over time. So it correlates exactly with what we've already learned.